All right, guys, we are on day number 8 of the 12 Days of Reindeer Games. I'm so excited to be back with you today. If you are new here, there are fun prizes that can be won if you follow a few simple instructions. First, you must subscribe to my YouTube channel. Second, you need to answer the question of the video, which means third, you have to stick around until the end of the video because that's where the question is going to be. And so now let's go ahead and dive right in. We are talking about how do you know where to show up on social media? Well, I've got 3 questions that you need to ask yourself before you make that decision. Let's dive right in because I don't want to waste any time. The first question you want to ask yourself is, what is the solution you're bringing to the table? You obviously have done your homework, you have a business, and you're ready to share it with the world, shout it from the rooftops, and get started on social media. You're not quite sure which platform is going to perform the best for you quite yet, but the one thing you do know is that you have a solution to share. You have proven your process, your methods absolutely work, you have the testimonials to prove it. Therefore, you know exactly what problem you're trying to solve. When you know what your solution is, the next question that you can answer is, who is the solution for, right? So that's question number 2. Now, inside my Project CEO program, we walk through not only a deep dive of who you are and this value you're bringing to the table, because I do believe once we understand what our value is, we can stand up high, hold our heads up high, and have confidence in how we show up to the table. It's going to be what helps us determine what dollar we pick up, and it's also going to help us manage the expectations of others, also manage the expectation of ourselves. Inside Project CEO is going to be a fantastic place if you don't have the answer to this question, if you're still trying to define your solution and identify who needs that solution. Please click in the description below for Project CEO and apply to see if it's something that is for you. You could also look at the CEO Circle, which is it's not a program, more so of a community instead, where we're walking through different mindsets to help you sort of get your mind right for the business that you are actually taking onto social media. And the third question is, what is your favorite way to communicate? Because once you've answered these 2 questions, especially this last one, now you're going to know which platforms contribute or make it much easier for you to communicate the best way or your favorite way. And that way you can show up on that platform authentically and organically and not have the stress and frustration of trying to figure it all out because you're already operating and communicating in a way that is your favorite. How do you most like to communicate? Are you someone who likes to talk? Because I know for me, I love to talk. Can you tell? I'm a talker. And I like to be on video and I like to be on my podcast. If you've not checked out my podcast, it is the CEO Mindset Podcast, and it is on all podcast platforms, especially Amazon Podcast. You can find it on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and of course, my own platform, AndreaPatrick.com. Check it out. It'll be in the description box below. Go ahead and listen. But I love to talk, and I absolutely feel like you can hear the passion in my voice for what it is I'm doing, and you can see how much I am enjoying it and want to share and want to help. So find out, discover, determine the favorite way you like to communicate. Is it written? Is it vocal? Do you like video? Is it a combination? And therefore, that will also help you determine where you want to show up. Each platform is different, and the way you share your story or your narrative is going to be different. So you have to make sure that the way you communicate suits the platform. At least in that regard, it's going to make it a lot easier for you to continue to work and be on that platform, create the content. If it's a platform that you struggle on to communicate the best way, it's going to be iffy as to whether or not you show up. To answer your question about where to show up on social media, I think you have to answer these 3 questions first. What is your solution? Who needs your solution? And what is your favorite way to communicate? I hope these 3 questions helped you. I think it is definitely going to share with you a better way or maybe streamline your choices a little bit more as to where you want to show up on social media. Of course, I could have told you, yeah, this platform's going to do this platform is the best place for this, but really it's about you. That's what we're talking about here on this channel. We're talking about how you can show up, work on your business, not in your business, be the architect of your own success. We don't imitate over here, honey. We do it all custom, all right? Don't forget, let's answer the question of the day. I talked about in this video my favorite way to communicate, and I told you why it was my favorite way to communicate. Answer that question down below. Tell me, why is my communication style my favorite? And also let me know what those reindeer were doing in the video. And now let's head over to see what your prize is you could potentially win if you're subscribed, if you answer the question right. Let's head over there and see what you could possibly win today. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I'll see you in tomorrow's video. Bye.